UFC 326 recap. Holloway versus Oliveira. Probably not the fight that was anticipated between the two. Me personally, I thought Max would win. Ultimately, he didn't. It's crazy, man. I mean, just what a performance. I mean, that's really all you can say about Charles' performance. Just straight off the bat, Charles came at Max. I mean, from the start, it looked like it hurt. He might have hurt Max a little bit. Max went for a front kick to the body, and Charles timed it well to try to go for a single leg, which then turned into a double leg. And then ultimately, when they were against the fence, he got to a body lock and went for a really nice trip. And he got Max down. Max did extremely well to survive all the submission threats that Charles was threatening him with. Max did extremely well to survive that entire round. To be honest, like he got on the back extremely quick. For a majority of the first round, he was on his back, and man, there's really not much to say. It was just pure domination the entire fight, and even when they're on the feet, Charles looked extremely dangerous, extremely dangerous. Um, but I mean, it's not a surprising thing. Everyone says that he hits hard, and it's not a surprise, you know. Charles has very underrated striking. Like he has very good striking, but it's just when you compare the two with Max and the likes of Ilya and even like a Justin Gaethje, even a Dustin Poirier, you just don't really think of Charles as being his main threat. But that makes him even more dangerous because of the threat of that he can get you to the ground and submit you. But yeah, man, I mean, there's not much to say about the main event, you know. It's say what you want about whether it was the most entertaining fight in the world. Evidently, no, it wasn't. It wasn't, but it was absolute domination from Charles Oliveira. I would say that first round was very entertaining. You know, Max being able to survive those submissions, how fast Charles was able to get it to the ground. Yeah, now that I look back on my prediction was a Max KO. Like I wasn't really thinking anything else, and that's why I wish I probably would have broke down the fight a bit more, because I feel that I would have seen that Max really in his entire career hasn't really faced the level of a grappler of a Charles Oliveira, really, and it showed. It really showed. It really did, and yeah, but it was a big win for Charles. Extremely big win. A big win, long overdue in my opinion. He deserves to have a big win like this after coming off the losses, like the loss to Islam, and again the devastating loss to Ilya, and now he's on a 2-fight win streak, and he has a big fight next for him. It probably won't be for the undisputed title, or maybe it will. You know, I personally don't think that would be the best idea. You know, Ilya and Gaethje got announced on Saturday night as well for the White House card, and I'll talk about that in another video. But man, Charles looked extremely good, and I feel that a lot of the talk after the fact was that it wasn't the definition of a BMF title fight, and I had a bit of a weird feeling about the BMF, to be honest. I don't know. I like it in a way because you always know that the BMF title fight is going to be one of the better fights of the year. And it always has been a good fight. Whether you go back to, I mean, the first one, Jorge Masvidal and Nate Diaz, like, yeah, it was a very exciting fight on paper. It was always gonna be a big fight, do good pay-per-view buys. But ultimately, the fight was a domination from Masvidal from the jump, and the way it ended as well Wasn't the way they would have wanted it to end. But then even after the fact, um, Dustin and Justin in their rematch was a good fight, you know, and the way Gaethje finished that fight. Max Holloway, Justin Gaethje, same thing, just unbelievable moment in UFC history. One of probably the best moment in UFC history. One of the best, most memorable for sure. And again with Dustin and Max as well. Always good fights, but this one kind of swayed people the wrong way, and the fact that this isn't the kind of fight that you think of when you think of a BMF title fight. And I don't know. I just don't really know what to feel. You know, part of me would have said a while ago that BMF in the first place is a pretty stupid thing to be able to. It's a pretty stupid thing to be able to defend your BMF title in the first place, and I think that this is now the issue that like like Charles can now defend his BMF title, but I mean I don't know who he would defend it against anyway. I mean maybe him and Ilya fight again, and then you unify, and now he becomes the BMF champion if he wins that fight. I don't really know like where you go here from now because I don't know. It's just a weird spot for the BMF title to be in now because now Max is I guess he defended his BMF title against Dustin, and if he would have won this fight, they would have said and still as well. It becomes a weird thing when like this title this is what I understand. BMF title fight is when I think of BMF, I don't think of it necessarily. I mean, maybe a big part of it, yes, of course, is that there's a risk of a knockout, a very high risk of a knockout because it's two strikers, but not always. Like if it let's say like if Charles in this fight would have pulled off would have been hurt by Max a couple of times, and Charles comes back and he just submits Max out of nowhere, it would still be the most BMF thing ever. Like it wouldn't it being a knockout or a submission would not change my opinion of it, whether or not it's a BMF title fight. The problem that people have is the way that Charles won, and that it was an amazing performance, and people were just happy to see Charles win. Me included, he deserves a big win against Max, who he lost to in the past. But it's just when you bring up when there's a BMF title fight on the line, that's not the fight that you think of when there's a BMF title fight on the line. You don't think of a 5 round domination where Charles is on top of Max the entire fight and yet has control of him pretty much the entire fight. And even when it was on the feet, Charles looked like he was more dangerous as well. People don't expect that like lopsided absolute domination. And before the fight, it didn't look that way. So it's just after the fact people have an issue because of the way Charles won. And I understand it, to be honest. Like I do, but that to me it's not an issue with the fight. It's a issue with the BMF title fight. Like I personally think the after Max apparently I guess defended his BMF title against Dustin. That's when I had a bit of an issue with it. Like it's just because at what point like it's just being able to hear and still after a BMF title fight is just a bit of a joke in my opinion. I just don't. That's the thing about the BMF title I haven't really agreed with. It's just because now Charles is gonna defend against someone else, and let's say he does the same thing, and he hears and still BMF title BMF champion. It's just it's like I don't really what is the value of a BMF title at that point anyway? Like there is no point. Like for me, the BMF title fight, if you weren't getting an insane, and it sounds wrong, but this is the way the UFC has been using it though. If it isn't a good fight, to promote the BMF title fight, you won't highlight real knockouts with a BMF title fight or an insanely good fight. And this wasn't an insanely good fight. It was just pure domination from Charles. And again, an absolutely unbelievable performance from him. And nobody can take away that win from him. Absolutely not. But that's not the issue people have. I also have a bit of an issue with the BMF title fight as well. I don't. I think it should have been done a while ago, and especially now it should be done. But I don't think the UFC is just going to strip Charles of his BMF title because of that. But they are in a bit of a predicament now because like at what point is a BMF title, like especially now in the lightweight division, at what point is a BMF title not just an interim title at that point? Like, that's what it's like leaning more towards in that lightweight division right now. Like it really is, in my opinion. But anyway, um, an incredible performance from Charles. Um, again, like I said, I got my prediction wrong. I thought Max would win by knockout, and completely wrong. I was completely wrong. I'm happy for Charles. Like I'm a fan of both of them. A big fan of both of them. I don't have anything against either one of them. I love them both. Um, even for Max, this isn't gonna be his last. Like this isn't the last of Max Holloway. It's just I mean maybe in the future they'll fight again, but I after that performance, it's hard to really say that. But they are 1-1, so maybe in the future at some point. But we'll see. Good performance from Charles. Extremely happy for him. He deserves it. He deserves a big win. It's been a long time. In the co-main event, Caio Borralho versus Rainier de Ritter. Again, I got my prediction wrong. I should have broke the fights down a lot more before I made predictions, but yeah, I thought I thought de Ritter's striking would be enough, and his start on the ground would be enough to at least get a decision victory. I mean, I didn't think there would be a finish in this fight, to be honest. Um, Kyle just is really well rounded, and again, this wasn't the best fight in the world. It was competitive for the both of them. Um, I don't agree with Kyle winning all three rounds. Absolutely not. I thought it was at least 29-28. I would have given 29-28 to Kyle. But 30-27 is a bit ridiculous in my opinion. But nonetheless, Kyle got in there and he got the win. Got a win he needed. I mean, both of them were coming off of losses, and Kyle went in there and put himself back into that top five picture. Called out Dricus du Plessis, which I think is a good fight to make in my opinion. Dricus has been out for a while, and I like the fight. I say make it happen. I do. For De Ritter, now on a 2-fight losing streak. Um, I don't really know. I don't really know what you do with De Ritter from there. But yeah, man. Good win for Kyle. Good for him to get back in the win column. Rob Font versus Raul Russo Jr. I got my prediction right for this one. Thought Raul would win by decision. I didn't think he would finish Rob Font. Yeah, man. I mean, again, another pretty convincing performance from Raul Russo Jr. But yeah, man. Rob just couldn't stop. He just couldn't stop the takedowns of Raul. And Raul comes out with a good performance, pretty much unscathed. Like nothing of really much significance landed from Rob throughout the entire fight. For either of them, to be honest. Raul Ruiz has pretty much won this fight based on control time. And a good win for him. Now goes into the top 15 for the first time in his career, which is good. Which is a good step for him. Rafa is not an easy fight for anyone, and he is proven in that top 15 in the bantamweight division, in a deep bantamweight division, and yeah, I mean it's a good win for Raul, but I think there is things to be said that like the performances he's having are good performances, but nothing that is screaming superstardom. If you know what I mean, like Raul has an insane amount of a big fan base, um, an insane backing by so many people. Again, like he's a star, and the UFC is want him to be a star, and it's just when you put on performances like this, it kind of just I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say like I think it isn't the performances that I guess people are really wanting from Raul Rosas Jr. But I mean, he's still so young in his career that there is going to be so much. He still has so much time to grow and evolve, and he's already in the top 15 in the bantamweight division at the age of 21. So it's not, and again, he won a unanimous decision against Ralph, who is proven in that bantamweight division. Judo or Michael Johnson. I got my prediction wrong again. I think Michael Johnson had very good momentum going into this fight. Um, was on a winning streak, and Michael Johnson's hands still look fast, still. But Drew Dober has big knockout power, and he was able to find it with a nice right hook into a left hand. And it hurt Michael immediately. It was done. There was no follow up shots needed. Gregory Rodriguez, Bruno Fajeda. This I did get right. I thought Gregory Rodriguez would beat Bruno Fajeda by knockout, and he did. I don't know if I expected it to be that early and that quickly, but I just didn't think Bruno Fajeda had the experience that Gregory Rodriguez has, and he hasn't had. This is probably his toughest fight to date. Gregory Rodriguez went in there and did what I thought he would. Just has big time power in that right hand, man. Yeah, again, good win for him. Him and Andrew Dober got performance of the night bonuses. Good for them both. Talk about the prelims really quick. Cody Garbrandt, Zhao Long had probably one of the weirdest fights I've ever seen in my life. Again, there was a lot happening, but at the end of the day, Cody got it done. It's always good to see Cody win, you know. Always good to see him win. There's a lot of weird things going on in this fight. There's too many to even talk about, to be honest, but glad Cody won. Dante Johnson, Cody Brundage. I before the fight, I thought Dante Johnson would win the fight. I just think Cody Brundage is in a weird spot in his career, but either way, it was still a pretty competitive fight for the most part. And again, I think it was a split decision from what I remember. I mean, yeah, Dante Johnson now 2 wins in the UFC. Yeah, it's a good win for him. Ricky Turcios, Alberto Montes. This is really the one win on the prelims that really stood out to me, in my opinion. Just looked, Alberto Montes just extremely impressive. Pulls off an anaconda with like a weird grip that is kind of rare to see. Yeah, man, what a performance! It was extremely good performance. Got performance in the night bonus. Yeah, man, and I like Ricky Tercios as well. I really do. But man, Alberto Montes he looked extremely good, extremely good. I'm gonna keep my eye on him because he looked extremely good. Cody Durden, two-man Demerol, pretty good performance. Two-man Demerol. Not really much to say about the fight. Just a pretty good performance. Sumidoji, who's Jesus Aguilar. I actually missed this fight. I didn't get to see this fight, unfortunately, but I heard it was a pretty good fight. Good for Sumidoji. Tobias versus Nurzagai. Tobias should have really tried to get the fight to the ground a lot earlier in the fight. I feel that he took a bit too long to do it, because that's where he had a lot of his success late. Nurzagai, purely a striker, it was pretty much on the feet the entire time. kind of cruised to a unanimous decision. Pretty good win for him. Yeah, man. Luke Fernandez, Rodolfo Bellato. This one kind of surprised me, to be honest. Bellato has been in the UFC for a while now, and had a couple controversial things happen in his career. Luke Fernandez was coming off the Contender Series, and this was his UFC debut, I believe. And I thought Luke Fernandez looked good on the Contender Series, so I thought he would be able to pull it off. But Rodolfo Bellato, very good win. Little short left hook to end the night. Really, really good shot. And he gets performance of the night as well. Really good win for him to get back in the win column. Yeah, I mean, overall, just an okay card. But the hype for this fight was through the roof, man. I was extremely excited for this. Underwhelming main event, if you ask some people. I wouldn't say underwhelming. I would say it wasn't the fight that I expected. What a performance from Charles Oliveira, man. He deserves it. Like I said, he deserves a big win after the things that he's been after the big losses that he's been conceding the last few years, and he deserves a big win. I'm extremely happy for him. I'm gonna break down the White House card that was announced in the next video. Yeah, thank you for watching.